Hey there, nice that you're watching. I am JB, and for today we are going to do something relaxing. We are also going to use the editor because I am going to need to build something for a reason, and more about this reason in a minute. First, I have two comments, which one of them is of cat cows. You done got pranked, lol. Same thing happened to me with the keys. I have found a stone golem with a bell hat, a bamboo chest, an oriental chest, and a bank vault that has toys in it. Think seen it in tropical, arid, and temperate region. Thank you so much for this tip. I will keep an eye out on the region. I'm going to need to have a lot of toys, and more about that also in a second. JD Triton is saying, LOL, great episode. Same thing happened to me. Speaking about the Mark 1 armor where you get the bug in the keys become useless. Now, why we are here in this little island is because I'm going to need to build a storage area. Not just a storage area like I got on my first island, but I'm going to have a storage area which can store a lot of stuff, like a ginormous amount of stuff. Now, I have here a very flat piece of land, very big, very flat, and I'm going to need to use it right down here because on the other island I'm building so much stuff that this build is going to make it look ugly. Because the thing here is I want to make it on such a way that it doesn't look like fancy, it doesn't look like it's, beautiful, realistic. It is purely going to be needed for storage. The reason why, well, as you can see, for example, in this chest, it is completely filled up. It is completely filled up, and so on and so on and so on. And the thing here is I got a couple of extra chests, and also in here things start to fill up pretty much. I got like 3. This is the 4th storage area which I fill up with weapons, and I've been saying you're going to need to take everything that you can find. And of course this is still empty, but still. The reason why everything is so filled up is because I am in a search of some toys. The reason why I need toys, well, what is a theme park without toys, right? So I found so far only one of the stone golems in the temperate region. Of course this is super rare, and I think also it's very good at super rare because there are a lot of people that don't need this stuff. And I am a person that is going to need a lot of this stuff. Now, of course, I can make basketballs and soccer balls and maybe, put up some old shoes and whatever not. But so the thing here, I've been to hundreds and hundreds of islands. I've been exploring, grabbing everything, taking them back, and I found the most interesting things as in random encounters. So I got here a picture of a toilet. This is a double toilet. The one on top takes his need and it actually drops down to the toilet below, because the thing is there's a little hole into the ceiling of the toilet below. So that is very disgusting. It's a random encounter. Then I found this very super cool samurai type of statue. Very nice. Then I also found this Indian golem type of encounter, and I think you have like these little totems. Is that what it's called? Let me just see. I know for sure I'm wrong. An idol. So I was shooting at this guy, and this guy got hit, and he didn't really die. So I took these little idols away around the totem, and then all of a sudden I could kill him. I tested it out. I found another one with random encounters. I took straight away these totems away, or these idols, and I took like 3 or maybe 4 arrows, and it was dead. I also found a bandit camp, and I found something sorta like it. I didn't have a screenshot of the other one, but basically this bandit camp and another one, you can find a lot of pebbles, gold, money, and that kind of stuff. I also found like this wooden tent. I did see it before on some island when I was searching for a nice island for a server. But basically this is for a mystery type of deal. Which I mean the creature, of course. You can find like a little scroll inside and a couple of items. Very nice. I really like this wooden tent to say. Then I also found a couple of random broken buildings around, just like this church, and this church, I would swear way back in 2019, I found this church, only it was way more broken down like this one down here. I think this is just an upgraded version of that. And I also found another broken building, and there are plenty of others. I forgot to take a screenshot of that, but yeah, a lot of broken stuff. And I found a radar cam. Now these radar cams apparently are just as rare as toys, but luckily I found 2 of these. And the reason why I say rare, because someone got actually killed and lost his radar stuff for whatever reason it was. Then I later on I tried to search more for these toys, and I found these radar cams. You can see there's like this little building, and in the back there's another building. This little building, you can actually find this radar armor piece, and in the building in the back, the bigger one, you can find the helmet, the pants, and the boots. For some reason I found another one. It also got a couple of these frost swords, frost knives, and this frost spear, which, it's a shame that some of these weapons might not be as good as the weapons that you can actually grab, like this nightclub. It would be nice if certain weapons had like certain specialties, that if you would hit something, in this example, it would give like frost damage. Maybe the creature NCP or whatever would be frozen for a second before it can do something again. I'm not quite sure if there is things like that. Let me just take a little nap here. Now, besides that, I also found so much stuff that has something to do with elves. So I found a few different of these elves buildings, and you got this big one. I found 2 of these ones, and I found this building. I all have to read this on a WordPad and hope that the screenshots are correct. But yeah, these elf buildings, there are like elves creatures, and they have like different weapons and armor and that kind of stuff. It's very interesting. And I also found a gazebo, which had these elves wandering around. I also found a couple of what I think are elf magic places. We have this one where you have like a floating chest on a stone, and the funniest thing is, if you come close enough to it, these stones actually start moving about. I found what I think is called a dolmen with these stones, and here you can basically find some herbs and fruits and that kind of stuff. And I found this stone sword. Now, when I pulled the stone sword out, nothing really special happened, and then I all of a sudden realized maybe I should have put these braces on fire and then put the stone out, or the sword out of the stone. So I put the sword back into the stone, put these things on fire, and then pulled it out again, but nothing happened. I thought maybe it's like a trick that if you turn these things on first and then get the stone out, maybe your sword will be more powerful. But it's just basically an Egyptian dagger, I figured out. I also found a very interesting other weapon, which is right down in this chest, which is this crystal staff. Now, what is special about this crystal staff? Well, first of all, it has this glow and like stuff around it. And first I was like, maybe this is like a ranged weapon. So if you do this, it will, shoot like a crystal ball or whatever. It doesn't, but it looks very cool. And another thing is, with this crystal staff, look at the damage. You can get the damage between 15 and 115, which is pretty impressive having a damage like that, because most other weapons don't have a high damage if it's about a melee weapon, or so far I haven't found any of these weapons just yet with a very high one. Maybe I should look at weapons. Let's take this coral. It's not very good. The machete is not very good. The saber has a nice apparatus, and then you have like also an elven sword, which is a lot higher, and I believe compared with what I'm using right now, it is a lot better. So what I think for now, I'm going to switch. I have to say goodbye to the mace. I'm gonna take this guy. Since sooner or later we're also gonna get closer to more difficulties and that kind of stuff. And you also have katana. I was expecting a little bit more with that. And yeah, like I said, I got chest filled up with stuff nobleman's sword. It's okay. So yeah, the whole search for toys is giving me a bit of a problem with stuff being stacked up. Now, I'm literally taking everything. And like I said, like I got 22 old shoes. I could use this in the theme park, but that's a little, you know, like, yeah, it would be a fun joke. But I need toys. I'm going to need to have a lot of toys, and maybe I could use these idols, you know, and maybe certain other things. But I'm stacked up, and to dump everything at the spot where I got my home base right now is not going to be ideal, because at some point we're going to do a season 2, and then, you know, we choose a whole new island, and then I need to move tons and tons and tons of stuff. That is not going to be very handy, right? So that's why I'm trying to find an island. I've been searching and searching and searching, but it's like so difficult, swapping maps, deleting maps, and you know, I just need to take everything which is flat. I only have to clean it up. So right now, at this moment, I came across this island, and the funniest thing is there are a few plenty of random encounters down here. Even though I am missing one random encounter, which is kind of odd. And okay, so the thing is, you have these goat cults, right? These cults, and they have like the stone. You can see one right about there, that black stone, and they always spawn in a pair of two. And I haven't. Oh well, look at that! It is right around there. The thing here is, in this tiny little spot, funny enough. Another one. Holy smokes. Okay, so there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is a trader, paint trader is 6. There is a golem statue is 7. There is like a little house in the back is 8. There are 8 random encounters in the tiny little stuff. Look at that. More is spawning in there. Like, it is so crazy, this one down here. So yeah, a lot of stuff. This, by the way, I'm gonna test this sword out. Maybe I should have just taken the yeah, okay, this is like the very easy one. Like, grab everything, like diamonds, seashells, take it, pick it up. Now of course I'm not just gonna do everything right around here. And the thing is, I'm aiming for something huge down here, but I'm not aiming for, like I said, it's not gonna be pretty. I don't want to make like walls around it and that kind of stuff. Oh man, the thing is, like, stuff is laying literally everywhere. Like, where am I going to, like, some of this stuff I don't know what to do. Let's dump it in here. And I got this chest filled up with stuff, dump it in here. Like, I also found a lot of gold. Oh yeah, it is crazy. Okay, let me just take the staff, because I am wondering, like, what will the chance be, right, that you hit 150. Also note for yourself, if you have a cactus, you can collect these needles, and these needles are, I believe, the biggest one you can get from all of the needles, and these things are going to be super handy. I already tested something which I'm going to show you sooner or later, if it's about making another thing for the theme park, like a pot. Just grab it all. Yeah, well, grab it all. I mean, I need to make storage. I don't know if this is going to be a good idea. Come on. Maybe. Let's. No, it has a pretty quick hit to say. You know, the thing here is, these guys are very weak. And if you have very strong ones facing, then it's gonna be troublesome. I'm going to need it all, you know? Everything, like, stack it up. Here, yeah, feathers. I'm going to need to keep an eye out on this. I found a lot of these totems, like in the temperate region, but I couldn't be bothered stopping by. So basically, what I did, I came from a tree, and then I went down like this, and then bloop, I got the exploration points, and I moved on. But yeah, like, It is not only that, like, I mean, if you grab some clothing, in this case, you just destroy it, you get like rags, and rags are used for other stuff if you don't want to use the clothing, because clothing can fill up stuff like crazy. It's actually a pretty good island, because this dude is gonna provide me paintings. Oh, I want that painting. Look how nice that is. Do you have it? This guy always seems to have the same stuff. Yeah, he's not having it. Nope. But he has pigment. For 40 bucks you're going to have some of these. He has 3, so you're gonna have like 1500/ish of this stuff minus 1, because it can only be stacked up to 999. So yeah, in this case, what I'm going to need to do here is start building modules. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was already building something, but I was building it with stone chests, and I was building it totally the wrong way. I should have just built it with a piece of building rather than building it in modules. Allow me to show you what I mean with that. I had this, right? I wish I could rotate. So this was the thing that I started off with, and then I can put some stuff on the wall, right? And it's gonna be one thing per chest, so I could stack up 3 items in here, and if I need more, I just place this guy behind this guy. Now, it's a nice idea, but the thing that I was doing wrong is I wasn't making the floor with it or some of the other stuff. Alright, now that we're here, let's see what we can do. I would like to use stone as much as possible, because stone is easier to get than wood when you're having the mining drill. So I think it's more handier if I also start thinking about floors before, you know, I just place the floors separately. And yeah, it took me a lot of work to build the whole show. Okay, so I've got a piece of floor, and I need storage, right? So right down here we have the wooden cabinet. This is what I would like to use, and this time it can only be used once, because the stone I had like stack it from the bottom to the top, so I could do 1 item per chest to say, and if I need more I could build it out to the back. This time I'm going to need to do it differently, since these things are very high. Now you could say, but why don't you do it like that? And then I'm like, you know, you're probably right, and then we should do it like this. 1 item per is going to be a little bit more difficult. Now we could also do it like that, that, this, and you know, have more storage per square meter. I had like 3 of these, and then of course a little bit into each other, but that's okay, that's fine. Yeah, so man, I wish content 6 out of 18. This means 18 slots. Why does it say 6? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it shows 6 of 18. Now it's okay. I got you. Yeah, these ones also have 18. I could do 2, maybe even 3. Now, one thing I did notice is that sometimes it just goes into each other too much, and then you have trouble selecting it, like you can see, while visually it doesn't. Maybe this, no. Like this one goes through the top one, right? Yeah, it does, okay. Like, do you see, like if you would grid it up, it would go into each other. It's not too bad, but I'd rather have it, if it's possible, rather not. So you have more room to actually select the chest without having to mess around. You want to select the middle one, and then it's selecting this one or that one. So I'm just giving it more space to select. So it is like 3 of these chests. 3 times 18 is a lot. I'm glad you cannot see what I'm doing here. Okay, it's 54 slots, while this one has 18. So it's definitely, you know, more. That's good to know. This is what I want. Right, just like that. Now, I am going to be honest that when I was standing here and trying to select this chest, I sometimes had trouble getting this chest to, be selected. So maybe I should just add in one more. Let's just keep it with that. Like, keep in mind, it's going to be now one item per whole row, which is going to be a lot. And there are like a few thousand items in this game. Alright, so let's see something here. Alright. I think this is a nice height for a character too, right? Having it like this, and I should be able to just... Yeah, as you can see the numbers there, the IDs, I should be able to easily select all of these chests. I got like 90 slots per row. That you're not gonna tell me I need more if it's just one item per row. And I'm going to need to have a lot of rows, like insane amount of rows. Now the only thing that I'm struggling a bit with is, am I wanting to do it by the front, or am I wanting to go in here and select it? The thing here is, I am going to need to have a option to say to place certain items, right? Just cooperate for a minute. Stop like that. This is just about it. Do I want to have a carpet per dinky? Maybe. Here is the whole troublesome thing. Like, what am I going to do with this? Am I going to do one carpet per row and have... How many carpets are there? I have like a whole row of these freaking carpets. Aye. And this is going to be or either like that, so I know where to stop. To leave in a little bit of light there. And then don't have like little alleyways in there, so I can just directly grab something rather than having to go into an alleyway. And then like this. It might even be a lot more smarter. Something like that. And of course, push it backwards, and then, I got a little stand if I need to fly up and, get on there. So this is what I'm going to need to do. I'm going to need to spend time thinking, and I'm going to need to spend time researching what other people do, and I'm going to need to come up with a plan. Now, I'm not quite sure if I still want to keep the island, because when I'm thinking about it, I'm going to need to have an insane amount of space, and I'm like, why am I depending this all on an island to say? I mean, I can also build this on the ocean. Is that going to be smart? If a chest gets broken, it's going to get sunken on the ocean. I'm going to need to have you guys experience, your feedback, and all of that stuff, because I know that most of you people are actually playing this game. So you could just, tag me in the official island Discord and show me your storage if you would like. And then I'm going to think and trying to figure out what I can do. And yeah, we're really going to need to have this stuff. I got a lot of resources to build this, so like that is why this morning I keep getting into map, out of map, into map, out, and just trying to look for an island that is small but flat. I'm going to need to get rid of all of this stuff, and that's okay because I can use it as storage. There is a painter there that's going to be super handy though. I'm going to need to think about it. So this is going to be it for today. Maybe not a lot, but sure a lot of things. And yeah, we will see what we're going to do for Friday's episodes.